Alright, we're going to start and get the front end all off of this. Already took the grill out. That's held in with 4 screws, Phillips head. Right there, and 2 more over here, and then there's a plastic piece behind it. Probably take that off first, just has the plastic push pins in it. They came out easy enough. And then the bottom of the grill, you want to be careful, is the clips that go in these, right in these holes here. It's hard for me to see because the sunlight's washing it out, but you can see those square cutouts, the metal clips that go in there. There's a good shot of one. I lost one, I heard it go flying, but I'll find it. It's under the truck somewhere. That's the clip. You want to be careful pulling them out. I think this grill's kind of expensive to replace, at least on the newer ones it is. But I got it out of there. 2 of them stayed. One of them went flying and one was still in the truck. But I'll find them. The bumper's easy enough. We've got 4 bolts. 2 there, 2 there, and there's 2 underneath that bolt to the frame on a bracket. Need a deep well socket for that. I'll get a picture of that once I get back underneath it. I think that's pretty much all it takes to get the bumper off. The driving lights or fog lights, they're hooked to the fascia. I believe the headlights, everything should come off with that. I'm going to take it all off in one piece. I have new headlights for it anyway. These things are just shot. That's pretty much it. I'm going to try to leave the air conditioning condenser in there. If I can't, well, then I'm just going to drain it out, and I guess I'll have to pay to recharge it. But if I can move it, I'll move it. I don't think I'm going to be able to, though. But let me get down to that, and I'll figure that out from there. So next thing, I'm going to get those 2 bolts. The fog lights are just, the wires are plugged in. These amber lights there on the truck when I got it, I don't know how they're wired. I'm sure they're not factory. If I have to just cut the wire, I'll cut the wire. I doubt they're just plugged, have a plug on them. I'm going to leave the hood on. I think I can get it out without taking the hood off. If I have to take it off, it's no big deal. And obviously, it's not going to fit in my garage here, so it's just too big. So I think I have it positioned right where my cherry picker won't hit the garage door. We'll see when we get that far. Alright, here's the only other bolt you have to take off, is this one right here. It's coming through the wheel well and you could reach it. You don't have to hold the other side of the nut. It's got a metal tab on it. Right there. So you put your impact on, it'll come right off. Well, the first thing I was incorrect about was where the fog lights aren't part of the fascia. They're bolted into the bumper on these plastic brackets, but they will come off the bumper. Just ease the bumper forward, make it easier, and then you can just easily unplug them. The bumper's not that heavy, especially when you've got a buddy like that who could pick up a house. You have to take the corner lights out to get to it because the bolts are behind that marker. These are aftermarket, by the way. The headlights are too, so they were changed before. Came up with a little easier way of getting these clips out that I've never really just figured out one of the simple things before. But when they're in there, you grab them like that and just back and forth, give them kind of a smart pull up and just wiggle, and they came right out. Never had them come out that easy before. So my 96 F250, I had to change the headlight in that. I remember ended up breaking it anyway. So the only thing holding this thing on here now, you've got, get out of the sunlight here. You get 2 bolts here, 2 screws, one right here, and one right here. The bottom one you can get at really easy, and then the top one you got to kind of use a swivel or just angle it in. I angled it in, it came out. And then the only thing holding it is you just have these rubber pieces on the side with the push buttons. They go in. You've got 2 on this side, 3 over here. So if you stick your tool, you get to the top one pretty easy. Stick the tool down in there and pop them. But this other side, you just want to cut the shit out of your arm. Just take the brackets off of the condenser. You can move it out to get your arm in there enough. It's got to come off anyway. So that's where I'm at. That's Jimmy. He's of no help right now. Alright, here's where we got to. We get the front end off basically. Ended up taking the AC condenser off. It was just easier. I probably could have moved it out of the way, but what it costs to have it recharged. I guess it's just not worth working around or risking damaging it. I broke the transmission cooler. I didn't hold the nut that's molded into the cooler, or part of the actual structure of the cooler. I didn't hold it tight enough, and it ended up twisting and it cracked right off the corner of it. So be careful of that. I don't know what they cost to replace, but I'll find one. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Next thing I guess I'll do, I got most of the coolant out of it. Just gonna pull the hoses off the motor. I just ran out of energy today. Took a time out. I put a new pump on my pressure washer. Worked pretty good. Gonna need it to clean the inside of this thing out, because this is a Northeast truck its whole life. It's in good shape, but it's got some scale on it. I'll have to blast off with that and try to take care of some of the rust on the frame. And not that it's rotted, just surface rust, but I'll get all that taken care of once the motor's out, of course. So that's where I'm at. Probably get the radiator out tomorrow. Again, that's straightforward. And then just keep plugging from there. You know, it looks like once the radiator's out of a pretty clean shot at the motor, I'll be able to get everything off the throttle body, the intake. Not that you can't do it. I mean, you could do it from the top, but it's just a hell of a lot easier this way than standing on a stepladder leaning over the fender. I mean, I'm 6'1" and I have a hell of a time reaching anything there. It's just all jammed under that cowl under the firewall. But we'll get it done. That's it for today. So I don't know how many parts of this video there's going to be, but I got to keep it under 15 minutes again. So that's where we're at.